Every autumn, on 70,000 farms in Britain, a gamble is played out. The gamble of growing potatoes. For with 750,000 acres of potatoes planted in the country every year, frost, blight, too much rain or too little, and dozens of other problems can seriously affect the harvest. And Britain's potato farmers must produce 6 million tons of healthy spuds every autumn to feed us over the following year. The crop takes about 6 weeks to harvest, and then it must be put into dry storage as quickly as possible. About a half of Britain's potato farmers still harvest by hand and store the crop in field clamps like this one in Huntingdonshire. But in other areas, where labour is not so plentiful, mechanised harvesters dig and pick up the crop. Stones, earth and the smallest potatoes are rejected en route. Only the best of the crop is sent back to the farm for indoor storage. But even then, the growers' problems are not over, for only 3/4 of Britain's potato crop comes up to marketing standards. The perfect potato, with both quality and quantity, has not yet been produced. But at plant breeding stations like this one near Edinburgh, agriculturists are producing new varieties of potatoes every year. By cross-pollinating different plants to strengthen good qualities and to eliminate poor, the scientists produce seed-bearing plants that they hope might take them one step nearer to the perfect potato. At this station alone, 50,000 new seedlings are transplanted every year, and each seedling is a new variety. 35,000 of these seedlings are then developed in hothouses and closely watched throughout their growth. Many of these plants are discarded before even fully grown. Only the most promising of these new varieties are then planted out on exposed hill farms nearby. It is in these conditions, not in hothouses, that they would be grown commercially. It takes 6 years to prove a new variety of potato, and out of 50,000 starters, usually only one is successful. These new varieties of potatoes go to research centres like the National Institute of Agriculture at Cambridge to be tested for their cooking and eating qualities. For an otherwise perfect potato is useless if it doesn't cook properly. The housewife just won't buy it. For instance, there's nothing more annoying than potatoes that break up when boiled. This machine is designed to test the texture of boiled potatoes. The average potato contains 75 to 80% water. If the water content is higher, it can break up in boiling. The pressure needed to force this mashed potato through an aperture is recorded for analysis and comparison with other varieties. Another problem is potatoes that go black when cooked. Slices of different potatoes are boiled together and then left to cool for 10 minutes. Any discoloration is measured and recorded. Soon, scientists hope to prevent this blackening process in the actual breeding of the potato. As well as developing and growing potatoes, the grading and marketing of them is also coming under scientific scrutiny at the Potato Marketing Board's new £250,000 research centre in Lincolnshire. Market research has shown that British housewives are prepared to pay more for potatoes that are well dressed. So every week, 200 tonnes of the best quality potatoes are now going through these automated cleaning and grading lines. Hand-picked for size and shape, without blemishes or bruises, only the best go through for weighing and packing. These more expensive prime potatoes are proving popular. The greater the demand for them, the more we shall see in the shops. The 4.5 million tons of potatoes that we eat in Britain every year are delivered nightly to the wholesale markets of our big cities. From there, they go out to the greengrocers, restaurants, hotels, and dozens of other users. At this chip-making factory at Yarmouth, Norfolk, up to 4 tons of potatoes every hour are washed onto the conveyor belt. Soon, peeled and chipped, the belt carries them onto an electrically heated deep fryer of the company's own development. Millions of chips, a schoolboy's paradise. A staff of 140 men and women keep this endless flow of chips moving towards the deep freezing plant. After packaging, these frozen chips are sent to many parts of the world, as well as throughout Britain. There are some 14,000 chip shops in Britain, and as potato users, they seem to be as popular as ever. For apart from eating chips with fish in the shop or restaurant, about 1/5 of Britain's population regularly take home chips to supplement meals. And of course, the threepenny or sixpennyworth is still the favourite to eat on the way. Potato crisps are one of the reasons why Britain's consumption of potatoes has gone up over the last 5 years. Today, we are eating 300,000 tons of potatoes as crisps every year, and this figure is still on the increase. The reason, say the crisp producers, is that we're getting more and more into the habit of eating snacks. This company, with 18 factories in Britain, weekly produces 25 million packets of crisps, each with its own pinch of salt. During the last war, people in Britain got used to what's now called instant potato, which is simply potatoes in powdered form. Water or milk is added to reconstitute them. Even today, 1 in 100 people buys powdered potatoes. The potato, which originally came from South America, was brought to Britain some 400 years ago, and it has since become one of our staple foods. The way we eat it, baked, boiled, crisped, and a score of other ways, is constantly changing. But we certainly like spuds, for each of us in Britain eats, on the average, ½ pound a day.